And good morning, good evening. Welcome everyone, welcome to another CranKy Duckling broadcast to the OSC 2023 mid-season playoffs, number 1, day number 4. Today was supposed to be my day off. It was supposed to be our day off. I said it last night when we finished casting Kung Fu Cup. I'm like, you know what, our next broadcast is going to be on Friday. Tomorrow we can just chill, we can sleep in, we can do other things. I should be happily streaming, laddering, smoging. But no, that is not the case. I was contacted by the lovely CEO of OSC, and we have another day of the OSC mid-season playoffs for you. We were able to cast day number 2. It was last week, I believe. Last week we casted day 2 of the OSC mid-season playoffs. I believe Dave Tester casted day 1, and I don't know who casted day 3. Day 3 may have been either Dave again, or maybe Wardy, or maybe Steadfast. I'm not too sure about who casted day 3. But we're here with day number 4, and we have quite a number of matches for you. I mentioned it in the chat earlier, but we have 7 matches, I believe 7 best of 3s, and you can already see the first one. We're going to be jumping into MaxPax versus EVA to kick things off, which will be amazing. And I guess before I get too ahead of myself, we should go over the bracket and the tournament itself, because even though this is day number 4 of this tournament, and this tournament has been running for a couple of weeks now, some people may not be aware of what this is. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourself, because it is a big one. Oh boy, I even need to resize it. Hold on. It is a massive bracket, a massive tournament here. OSC, for those who don't know, OSC is an organization that, for the most part, runs tournaments for StarCraft, and also for Hearthstone as well, where there's 2 major esports. And they also partner with a bunch of events as well. They partner with a bunch of online tournaments like CSO Esports and events run by, oh god, what's it called? Events run by us, like Sparkling Tuna Cup, events run by other people as well. I want to say Chicken Man, I want to say Dave Tester. Typically, if there's an online event being run, it's usually partnered with OSC, and as a result, they provide OSC points. So points are gathered by all these online events, by all these players, and then they are invited to the mid-season playoffs. They are ranked, they are tallied, and everyone is brought forward here. And that's why the bracket is so insanely large. That's why there are so many players involved as well. And to name a few, as we do try and go through this bracket. Oh, well, look at it. It's double elimination as well. It's massive, Bobby. It's massive. It takes like 2 months to get through the entire tournament just because of how big it is. And of course, every single match is casted. Every single match. We've got big names like MaxPax, like Nightmare, Baby Marine, Demaga, Wayne, Mana, Cham, Solar, Mio, Micah, Geralt, Dark, Bjorn, Eric, Special, Mixu. So many big names are a part of this event from every region, from Korea, from Southeast Asia, from Latin America, from Europe, from North America as well. And they all come into this major event to play things out. And again, we were able to cast day number 2, and we can see a lot of matches have already gone through, but we're mainly focusing on the upper bracket for the time being. The lower brackets, there's still plenty of players, and that we haven't had too many eliminations yet. I have confirmation that I believe Bratok and Holden, the American Protoss Holden, and of course Bratok, the European Terran, they were eliminated already, but they are the first 2 to go down. We still have so many other matches ahead of us. Other big names, of course, Quanta and Honmono. Hung Mono even. Trigger as well for North America, right? Like, just anyone who's everyone is a part of this. Obviously, this is limited to players that participate in the specific OSC events, in the weekly tournaments that provide OSC points. So we're not going to see everyone. We're not going to be seeing players like Hero, for example, but or Raynor or Cyril, but the players that do participate in the more frequent online scene, that's who you're going to be seeing here today. Oh boy, and we have quite a number of matchups ready for you. To quickly list them off, we're going to be starting things off with MaxPax versus Eba. That'll be our first one. We're going to be winner goes up against Hon. Oh my god. Winner goes up against Hon Mono himself, and the winner of that goes up against Nightmare. You'll love to see it, as we can see here on the brackets. After this, we're going to be casting Dark versus Young Yakov. Cheeky ZVZ going on there. Followed by Björn versus Kaz, Mana versus Cham, Night Phoenix versus Trifax, and Mio Micah versus Exo Striker. So quite a number of games. I believe the final games that we're going to be casting are elimination matches. So we are going to be eliminating some players today. Oh boy. So I do, you know, my heart bleeds a little bit, but it's the way the tournament goes. Some players move on, others, their final days will be today. And yeah, we're gonna kick things off. I'm gonna be on my own for the time being. I might be joined by another fellow CranKy Duckling later on. We'll see, depending on who becomes available and who is free. But here we go. We're gonna be jumping into our first matchup. Bit of a PvZ. Oh, let's go, puppy. Let's go. Oh, I also. There we go. Forgot the corner logo, but here we go. We are jumping into our first best of 3 of the evening, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Jagannatha, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Jagannatha, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Zerg player, Kappa, residing in the land of the United Kingdom, representing Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. The Polish meme is an old one, but it checks out. If you know, you know. But yeah, these are two players that we don't see face off too often, despite the fact that they're in the same region. So I'm very excited. Of course, Eva has quite close ties to the CranKy Ducklings. We are always very supportive of the young talent in the European scene. But he's up against the best Protoss player in all of Europe right now. Now, a couple of things that are going to be a little bit different about this tournament, and you may have already realized, you may have noticed something. Like, hold on, Jagannatha, that's not in the map pool. That's not on the ladder. You may also be thinking, oh, is it still? I haven't laddered at all in years. Like, it's still in the map pool. The way that OSC events work is that every season of OSC tournaments, which is a couple of months, we rotate between some new maps, or some old maps, I should say. The current ladder map pool, I believe, is still active and can still be chosen, but OSC do add 3 additional maps, and we've been rotating through a couple of them over the past couple of seasons. This season, the new maps are, or the additional maps are, Jagannatha, Death Aura, and Lightshade. And of course, the vetoes are normal between the players, and it's pretty interesting that a map like Jagannatha did make it through the veto process. Pretty exciting as well. It's a blast from the past to see this map once again. For those wondering, Jagannatha was in the ladder map pool in 2021, so a couple of years ago. I believe era 2020 to 2021 was Jagannatha, so it's been quite some time, but I do appreciate it. Why? Because we got lily pads, and we're ducks, and we quack. Quack. Beautiful. But some of the major features of Jagannatha are the speed zones. These are zones that don't exist in the current map pool, actually. We have slow zones on Near Humanity, which are red. These are green, and units do speed on through them very quickly, and they can make for some really terrifying engagements. The big thing, if you've ever seen a Purification Nova run through a speed zone, it's terrifying. it's terrifying to be on the receiving end of Purification Novas, mate, for example, or Ling Bane, for example, as well. Like, if you take a bad fight and your army happens to be just outside of range of the speed zone, and your opponent rushes in, it's terrifying. You have very little time to react. So be careful, Bobby, be careful. So yeah, we have a couple of speed zones here in the center locations, and here on the right and left hand side of the map as well. We can see some fights make use of them. We've already been seeing that already in day number 2 of the OSC mid-season playoffs. But yeah, we'll see if it comes into play here, as we have a pretty standard opener. MaxPax is diving in with his Adepts. One drone already going to be going down. This is a Stargate opener, so a pretty standard setup here by MaxPax. Did go for a Stalker first to try to hide his build, and as a result, Eba hasn't made his way into the main, but we can see that the Oracle is going to be on the way. Meanwhile, Eba's getting ready for this. We have 2 queens in each base, about to have 2 queens in the main, 2 queens here at the third base as well. So we have plenty of anti-air to deal with these oracles, as long as the queens are in position, as long as Eba is able to react in time. Meanwhile, third base is on the way again. Standard setup here by MaxPax, going double Oracle into his third base. From here, we should be seeing a Twilight Council, should be seeing a Forge, but we'll keep an eye on things. We'll see if MaxPax goes for a more aggressive variation of a Blink follow-up, which do exist, especially if you do skip out on that Forge. Meanwhile, I was talking about how the main and the third were safe. The natural, not so much. One drone does go down, but only one drone. Eba very quick to morph in those spores, very quick reactions. That could have been a lot worse. But now we have joined forces. We have 2 oracles and we have 4 adepts. This is very hero-esque. This does require quite a bit of APM and quite a bit of multitasking. You do leave your third base very vulnerable when you do this, but the goal here is to jump on top of these queens. 1 queen already does go down. MaxPax looking for some more economic damage as well. Doesn't get it, but getting 1 queen is already a good start. And again, this is a risky move because you are leaving your third base vulnerable, but the idea here is that Eba is forced to keep his lings at home because of all these adepts. If the lings do leave, then the adepts move in, and then the drones won't like that one bit. Do have the queens just shooing away these adepts for the time being. The oracles dive into the main base. No spore! Oh no, there is no spore in the main. The queens were a little bit distracted, and this is a lot of damage being dealt. 9 workers go down, and all 3 oracles survive. You're always on a knife's edge. Basically, Eba is cutting corners to try to be as efficient as possible. There are no spores in any of these mineral lines except for the natural, because he's relying on his queens to be in position. But if at any moment they aren't, we see what happens. As we do see Eba forcing and getting on top of these adepts, he's going to be able to clean these up for the time being, but this is already worth it for MaxPax. The damage has been done. In total, 11 drones have gone down this game. Eba has to try and recover economically, take his 4th base. He is on the back foot, and these oracles, they're not done. We still don't have a spore at the 3rd, by the way. We're going to be able to get a couple more drones here as well. It's always a risky thing to cut spores like this, or it's very risky to do so, and it can be worth it if you're able to deflect the oracles, right? Like, if the oracles don't catch you out of position, then it can be worth it, but in the end, not so much here for Eba as he loses a couple more of those drones. We do see him trying to go for a link counterattack, but the stalkers have arrived, and this is something that MaxPax is very fond of. This isn't your typical +1 blink stalker transition from MaxPax. This is double forge 1-1. This means that MaxPax is going to be staying on blink stalkers for far longer. His transition into something like disruptors is going to be far later as a result. He's going to be heavily reliant here on his Stalker control, on his Blink control as well. Mass gateway units, mass Blink Stalkers are going to be coming out from MaxPax, and his goal is to overwhelm and just overcome whatever Eba has. And Eba is even supply blocked right now. He's making 6 Overlords. Now is a horrible time to be supply blocked, because MaxPax, he's pushing in. Here we go. We have 4 more gates being thrown down behind this. MaxPax pushing on forward, threatening the would-be the current 4th base. We have a 5th on the way behind this as well, but Eba hasn't been able to saturate. He has less workers than his opponents. We do have a massive link counterattack though, and it looks like it should be able to do some damage across the map. Oh, the shield battery goes down, the cannon goes down, the boys are being pulled, and Eba is actually targeting down the Nexus itself. Oh, we'll see if he can get it. I don't think he can. It's going to be close. At the same time, MaxPax rushes forward. 4th base is going to be going down. And meanwhile, the 4th of MaxPax survives. Or does it? Up! Eba's back! And he gets it. The 4th Nexus will go down. We trade a base for a base, which is still worse for Eba, to be honest. We also see some really good positioning here from MaxPax, denying the surface area, just creating a wall here at the ramp. Oh, Eba having a really hard time trading against this army. MaxPax is trapped and he's forced to recall. We'll lose 3 additional Stalkers in the process. So MaxPax has been bleeding out some of his Stalkers, but he did kill a hatchery. He has been able to, again, trade pretty efficiently overall. Looking at the units lost tab here, we can see that, oh, Eba hasn't lost any gas, but he's lost a lot of lings. He's got 4,000 minerals worth of lings. My god. Behind this, Eba's going to try and go Ling Bane Hydra, which isn't a bad composition, but it does require a bit of momentum, and unfortunately, Eba's barely been able to spread any of this creep. The Revelations, the Oracles for support, have just been doing such a great job here from MaxPax to keep the creep at bay. See a bit of a baleen water by here on the right-hand side of the map as well, but MaxPax, he does warp in defensively back at home. We do see a stasis trap going off as well. Half of the lings do get caught out. And now we have the 5th on the way from MaxPax. As he's getting his 5th up and running, we should be seeing additional gases taken soon because MaxPax is going to be trying to diversify his army. We have a robotics bay on the way. That'll be for Colossi more than anything. Disruptors have their role in their place, especially against Roach Ravager based compositions, but against Ling Bane Hydra, Colossi reign supreme. They like all things light, and Ling Bane Hydra is very light. As Eva's pushing on out. Unfortunately, Baneling speed was delayed. I think he forgot it for a little bit, so it is gonna still be less than halfway done. MaxPax is gonna have to try to hold on to his bases, though. Eva's gonna be going towards that fresh 5th base. At the same time, though, MaxPax does warping in a massive wave of Zealots in the main. Oh, and this is gonna be a one-way trip. This is the danger of fighting here and trying to fight this base. We blink on forward, every single Hydra is gonna be going down. Meanwhile, the Zealots are being cleaned up, but we saw this twice now. Whenever you try to punish this corner base, and that's another interesting feature about this map, this base is very isolated. We saw that MaxPax was forced to recall with the Stalkers earlier just because there was no way out. Unfortunately, Eba doesn't have that option, and he lost all of his lings, all of his Hydras. He did get a base, but especially losing the Hydras, that was I don't think that was quite worth it. A lot of gas has gone down the drain. MaxPax pushing on forward once again. There are those Colossi that we were talking about. They are being produced as we speak. And there is no answer. What is the answer to Colossi? Well, I would say Lurkers in this position, or Vipers, either or both, ideally. But alas, Eba's just not in the position to do that. He just doesn't really have the economy for that kind of tech transition. We do see the 5th base going down for Eba. He tries to go for a wraparound, but another stasis trap goes off. And we have another. Oh my god, the Lings creating a force field here, protecting the Stalker army. Hydras are trying to push on forward. There is no prism, so this Colossi is looking very exposed. At the same time, another Zealot counterattack, or the entire mineral line will go down. Meanwhile, this is not the best trade either. The Hydras fall, GG gets called, and MaxPax will take game number 1. GG. Oh boy. Catching up in the chat. Eba. Oh, he's beautiful, Bob. He's beautiful. The prince versus the youngster. Exactly. GG, well played. Solid game 1 there from MaxPax. Nothing too fancy from him. And we saw Eba was able to retaliate, of course. He was able to pick off a couple of bases here and there. But it was kind of a rough start for Eba. If you recall, Eba was cutting spores. He was trying to cut corners and minimize, or trying to maximize his dronage and his economy by skipping out on those spores. He was punished for it. I want to say 13 drones went down in total to the Oracle Harass. Oh, as MaxPax, he eventually found the bases without any support and was able to take advantage of that. Very well done there by MaxPax. But this is a best of 3, not a best of 1, so we have some more games ahead of us. We're going to be getting into game number 2 on Dragon Scales. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the Danish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have his opponent. We have the youngest GM in history, the pink Zerg player representing Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Eva, of course, the young up-and-comer, has been having a lot of promise and has been streaming a lot as well, but alas has yet to break into kind of the upper echelons of European players. I think we can all agree though that he has so much potential within him, and he's been able to achieve quite a lot at such a young age. It's crazy, actually crazy. As I believe he is currently, I want to say 14, but let me just double check. Yeah, he's 14. Just put that into perspective, and don't feel too bad about yourself. You're like, yo, I'm trying to improve, I'm trying to get there, I'm masters. Meanwhile, this guy, Eva, hit GM at, I want to say 12 years old, which was crazy. Hold on, just double checking. He hit 6K on the European server at 13 years old. 13. There you go. Aye. Insane. But of course his opponent is a little bit older and is far more experienced. MaxPax has been around for quite some time, and he's the best Protoss in Europe for a reason. And some people may contest against that. They'll be like, oh, what about Showtime? I'm like, what about Showtime? All right, the Showtime is very good as well, of course, but MaxPax has been getting the results recently. He's been looking so damn good, taking down some big names, taking down Koreans, taking down even the top Europeans. As MaxPax was last night's Kung Fu Cup champion, he was able to take down Clem and take down Solar and take down Hero as well last night to claim that title, to claim that KFC bucket. I'm hungry. So MaxPax is one of the favorites to take the entire tournament, but you know, he's not gonna go, his opponent isn't gonna be going down without a fight. Eba is getting into his opener here. Hatch gas pool, third base is on the way as well. Nothing too crazy, other than the fact that I believe Eba did go for a 15 hatch, so he's able to get his hatchery on location on time. MaxPax, despite sending his probe across the map, wasn't able to deny it. So nice moves there from Eba. Nice moves. The 15 hatch has been quite popular as of late. But we'll see where things will differ here, as we do have that Stalker once again coming out for MaxPax. Going to be shooing away this Overlord and looking to hunt it down. We do see that Oracle is rallied towards the Overlord as well, so this is just to get some secure damage and to deny additional scouting from Eba. Of course, he's still going to reveal the Overlord, and he will reveal the Stargate as a result. But again, he's more concerned with just, you know, making sure Eba is in the dark from here on forward. Meanwhile, the question becomes, should Eba throw down spores this time? That is the question. Last game, he only had a spore in his natural, not at his third or his main, and he was punished as a result. Again, though, it's a question of confidence. Like, does Eba feel like he can keep up with his queen rotations, and does he feel like he can minimize losses and be in position in time every single time MaxPax comes in? We'll see. As once again, spore in the natural, queens are going to be on the fringe bases instead. MaxPax may have found some damage in game one, but Eba says, you know what? You caught me lacking once, but only once. Oh, no, never mind. We do have a spore in the main base as well. Okay, so this time, Eba, he's respecting the Oracle control of his opponent. He's like, you know what? I'll get some spores this time. You know, I'm not going to try and get away with it. At least a spore in his main and his natural. His third is still a little bit exposed, but this is where the queen's going to be focused. It does kind of give Eba a little bit more peace of mind. As the Oracles head into the natural, drones are pulled away. It looks like 2 Oracles will go down, but whole damage is dealt to said Oracles. Queens are looking to focus on once again, and there we go. We punish MaxPax for being a little bit too cavalier. 3 drones for 1 Oracle. A good trade for Eba. Again, MaxPax maybe not expecting those spores in the main base. Up! Oh my god. Quick reactions there out of Eba, saving every single one of those drones. Forced to cancel, but still worth it to keep the workers alive in the end. Meanwhile, it looks like the Oracle tried to dip back in once again, and 5 drones in total have gone down, but we were able to kill one of the Oracles, so still a better start for Eba. There is on the way behind this. MaxPax is getting his third base up and running, and we are getting into a similar opener. We're getting into Twilight Council and a Forge +1 and Blinker on the way. Only a single Forge this time. Interesting. So we have a different variation here, and we can see what those resources are being used for. MaxPax is taking such a fast and such a greedy 4th base. Oh my god. On par with the 4th of Eba, of the Zerg. Very greedy stuff here from MaxPax, but this is also kind of looking like a 7-gate push. What I mean by that is that MaxPax, once again, is not going to be making a prism. He's not going to be reinforcing across the map. He's going to be reinforcing using this forward base instead. And this is a great way to actually take advantage of Dragon Scales. Dragon Scales is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, has a very short rush distance, and because of that, you can kind of launch yourself from the center base and just use it as a staging ground to keep the pressure up on the Zerg opponent. Meanwhile, Eba goes for a scout. He does confirm it, does see it. He's aware of the base being taken. Thankfully, he's expanding away from the bases of MaxPax, so his 4th base should be relatively safe, but what about everything else? As we do see MaxPax pushing on forward, we have a revelation on those creep tumors, but Eba is here to stop him. He's here to try to push these Stalkers back, but the trades are too damn good, and not a single Stalker died. The Lings all went down. The Stalkers keep on pushing forward. And again, as long as the Blink Micro is good enough, not a single Stalker will die. Well, we do have a surround being set up, but MaxPax is wise to it. He does blink over to the right-hand side. He still has his Oracles to support his army. At the same time, we had a little bit of a counterattack here, but looks like MaxPax was able to react in time. I want to say it was a Baneling. Looks like a Ling run by. Regardless, it was cleaned up. Meanwhile, we have 1-1 on the way. We have charge as well for those Zealots. Lings are setting up for a surround once again, but we have so many Stalkers available. It looks like one Stalker will finally go down. Let's go. One Stalker for 58 Lings. Meanwhile, MaxPax, his macro is insane. Because of his fast 4th base, he is up to 82 workers already. It's crazy. He has 20 more workers than Eba, and he hasn't been killing drones, but he has been forcing Lings. He's been forcing more and more Lings out of his opponent. We do have a Baneling run by being set up here on the left-hand side. This has not been spotted by MaxPax. He doesn't know. A lot of potential in that run by, especially because of how saturated this base is. See MaxPax, he's been trading well, but he hasn't really been able to do too much in the fringe bases. I say that Zealot run by is going to distract Eba here on the top right-hand side of the map. Ling counterattack once again, trying to distract MaxPax, and here we go. The Banelings roll in. But MaxPax, he has eyes on everything. He reacts too damn well. The Lings get cleaned up. The Banelings get shut down. Eba still looking for some damage. He's going to be looking to deny the 5th base, but that's the 5th. And he should force a cancel. There we go. Cancel is forced. More Hydras looking to go for a counterattack as well. Eba, he's trying to put MaxPax on the back foot. His army is quite out of position. And Eba has broken through into the main base. The Lings are in the main. The Hydras are threatening that 3rd. Looks like MaxPax is going to be able to fend this army off for now, but the Lings in the main are trying to do damage. I say trying because they actually haven't killed any workers. The Zealot reinforcements, the Zealot warp in was just in time, and good drone drilling as well from MaxPax. After all that, if we look at the units lost tab, MaxPax hasn't lost a single probe. Not a single worker has gone down from MaxPax. Only 2 Stalkers as well. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a Zealot counterattack, but this will be cleaned up by the Ling Bane. But another Zealot warping into the main base. Eba is being pulled apart. He just spent so much supply. He spent so many Lings going for all these counterattacks, going for all these run-bys. And as a result, his army just isn't large enough to deal with this. He spent so much supply harassing. And now to defend, he barely has anything left. The Banelings are rolling on forward. The Colossi have arrived. The bases are falling. And MaxPax is just looking to overwhelm. He has too much Protoss. GG gets called. And MaxPax takes game number 2 and the series. GG. Oh boy. GG, well played. Impressive stuff there from MaxPax. Really greedy play as well overall, and he was able to get away with the faster base, he was able to get away with the better economy, and from there he just boomed in his army supply. Eva was trying to do his best to try and harass and punish the economy of MaxPax. Like, we saw a lot of Ling run-bys, a lot of counterattacks, Bailing run-bys as well. But every single time MaxPax, he was paying attention, he was able to react, he was able to position his army and also pull away his workers, and he didn't lose a single probe that game. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy to think about. Not gonna lie. GG. GG, well played. Ugh. Catching up in the chat. He's my brother's age. Wild. Wild, Bobby. Wild. But yeah, GG, well played. Very strong showing here from MaxPax. Again, there's a reason why he's a dominant force, not just in Europe, but also the world right now. He is very in form, and he is a favorite to take the entire event. But it's not just MaxPax. It's not just MaxPax who's the favorite. We have some other contenders for the OSC mid-season championships, or the playoffs, to become the champion. Our next series is going to feature one of them. It's going to be Dark versus Young Yakov. Let's go.